And today my adventure begins right here on Georgia Highway 272. And wait till you see what I ran across today. What a roadside attraction this could be. We're here to see the pig monument. This way, right up through this thicket right here. Make sure there's no snakes out here, though. Good afternoon, my friends. Welcome back to the channel. I am thick in it today. Look at this. Look at all this greenery. And maybe even a thunderstorm is approaching. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. As we're going to go check out some more small towns here in the central part of Georgia. Not too far to Macon, Georgia. That is where I'm headed tonight. But I've always wanted to stop right here to what they call the pig monument. And right here it is. This is indeed the pig monument. And man, it is out here. Before we get into the depths and history of it, I just want to come back here on the backside of it and just take a look around. And we are up here on the hilltop, man. Look at that. And look at that storm brewing out there to the, I guess that's the west of us. It is getting pretty active back here in those parts. But I want to just take a moment to come around here and check this out. It says, on this spot in 1933, during the Great Depression, neighbors of a farmer named Barron joined together to rescue his pig from a dry well. This monument is erected to the spirit of friendship and community, so characteristics of those times. So that's kind of cool. And right here's all the donors that they put in to get this monument erected. That is cool. I think it actually was erected maybe in 1992, possibly. And I always thought this was kind of a pretty cool little story. So pretty much what happened is there was no easy way to pull the animal from the dry well. Instead, Barron began shoveling dirt into the well, and there's like a hole right here, a very like shallow hole. This might have been where the 40-foot dry well used to be at one time, until all the neighbors and stuff come in. They just started shoveling dirt down in the well, and as they kept doing that over time, it took 12 straight days of the community working together, filling the well until the pig could finally climb out. Well, I gotta say, what a really cool story of neighbors helping each other to save the pig from the dry well. But unfortunately for the pig, he was eventually butchered. So this is definitely, you know, not a Charlotte's Web type of a story. And, but the story has become legendary because of the rescue, and it symbolized how rural communities survived hard times by helping one another. And that's what's most important, because we all got to eat. And it was, you know, the bug got on my ear. It was the Great Depression at the time. So food and stuff was really coming along hard. It's time to get out of these daggone, this greenery, man. These bugs are everywhere. All right, and I've made it to Toomsboro, but unfortunately, it's raining now. And it's raining pretty hard. But that's not stopping me. We're going to get over here and we're going to look at the town a little bit. Talk a little bit about the history. And look at this old train depot right across the road here. Oh my God. Yeah, that is pretty awesome. It's pretty cool. Look at the roof. The roof is definitely caving in on the old depot there. So Toomsboro developed during the late 1800s along the Central of Georgia Railway. Like many Georgia Railroad towns, it grew because trains created opportunities for shipping, for farming goods, timber, passengers across the state. The town was officially incorporated in 1904. And I'm going to tell you something, even if I have to drive, we're definitely going to make our way over there where it says syrup pitcher. I do believe that is an old syrup plant right there. And it's just been kind of left or right. Yeah, so right across the way is the store we was sitting at. So the community of Toomsboro was named after Toombs family, likely connected to the influential Georgia political family of Robert Toombs, one of South's best-known Confederate leaders and former U.S. Senator. Over time, the spelling evolved into Toomsboro. And look at this old general store we have right here. Murray's General Store. Have an old gas pump right here. That is awesome. That is so cool. Love finding old retro gas pumps. Still standing upright. Really cool little place right here. I think I'm going to step right in here. This here is their U.S. Post Office of Toomsboro. Zip code 31090. There's another big abandoned front over there. It used to be an all-you-can-eat cafe across the street there. It looks like it's been shut down for quite some time. So getting back on point a little bit more about the history of this town while we take refuge right here at the post office. Agriculture actually shaped the town's early economy. Cotton was the main cash crop during the late 19th and early 20th centuries, and farmers relied on railroads to transport their harvest to larger markets. General stores like this one right here and cotton gins, warehouses become important parts of the local economy. And matter of fact, speaking of like cotton and warehouses, they have one still here right across the railroad track. And since it's raining, I can't walk over there, but maybe we can go get in the car and drive over there slowly, point the camera out the window and let you see it. As I move across the parking lot here from the U.S. Post Office, we have the Toomsboro Fire and Rescue. And then we have the City Hall right over here next door to that. And speaking of City Hall, let's talk a little bit about population. The population here in Toomsboro is 648 with a median age of 43.7. So next up, let's look at the demographics for Toomsboro. 52.84% is white, 44.16% is black, 0.47% is American Indian, 0.47% is Native Hawaiian, and 0.32% is mixed race, and 1.74% is other race. Then when we look at income index, income per capita is $32,408. Median household income is $72,940, which is right almost even with Georgia's $74,934, the national average of $81,333. Then when we look down at poverty level here is only 15.5%, which is below the Georgia 17.8 and just above the US of 15.1. Then we look at crime. Crime here in Toomsboro is 2.8 per 1,000 people will experience a crime here in town. When we look at that in percentages, total crime is 36% higher than the national average, and violent crime is 31% higher than the national average, and the property crime is actually 37% higher than the national average. That is a really cool looking house right there. And then right here is the Farmer's Cotton Warehouse I was speaking about earlier. That is pretty cool. And this is very sad we cannot get out and go look at this place a little bit closer, but this here is a syrup pitcher. And this is a syrup plant where they actually made syrup. And if you look off to the right-hand side of the building, you can actually see some of the machinery back there. It's all kind of grown up now with greenery. But supposedly they was running this place one day and they just packed up and left. Just left it just the way it is. So as I'm traveling along, I decided to stop here at the McIntyre Resource Center. And this place is pretty famous because this residence was where the hit TV show on TLC, Honey Boo Boo. Now, I never watched the show, but this here is where this is called the Honey Boo Boo house. In other words, Mama June. If anybody watched it, this is what it looks like today. Now, back in the day when they lived here, the family lived here, there was actually a garage right over here that's been removed now. But it's not a residence no more. This is actually a resource center. So, but nonetheless, this is the house where the hit TV show was filmed. And matter of fact, I found a picture online where the family was sitting right here and took a picture. About right there. I'll throw the picture up on screen now where you can see what it looks like. And back in the day, it looks like all this step work used to be bricks mainly, but now it has definitely been changed to more of a cement or concrete steps that leads up to the front door now. All right, so I just want to make a quick stop here. So we're just going to head on now and go check out another small town. Thankfully, I got out of that storm that I was in Toomsboro. That was insane how much rain fell. And I don't think it's done yet, so hopefully we can get to our next town safely and quickly. And then we're going to wrap things up today. Georgia, it's not been easy today, my friend. We got some wicked weather down here in the springtime. Okay, I've made it to my next town now. And this here is Gordon, Georgia. Population 2008. Median age here is 38.9. And right here off of South Main Street is the Gordon Police Station. And they got some very interesting looking storefronts right here along the railroad tracks. They actually got storefronts on both sides. We actually started right over there. So just to give you a little backstory about Gordon, is a small railroad town here in Wilkinson County here in central Georgia. The town was founded in 1843 as a depot stop along the Central of Georgia Railway. It was named after railroad executive William Washington Gordon, an important figure here in Georgia railroad history. So the arrival of the railroad transformed the area from rural farmland into a transportation hub for cotton, timber, and agricultural products. Like many Georgia railroad towns of the 1800s, Gordon grew around the depot with businesses, homes, and churches developing nearby to serve travelers and local farmers. The railroad remained the heart of the town's economy for decades. And I think it is pretty awesome that they still have this old depot over here, and they even have a few train cars we can look at. Before we walk over to the depot, I want to take a look at this building, because this here is the old bank here in the town of Gordon. And look up here at the top, 1905 is where it dates back to. Got a little plaque over here, and they called this place the People's Champion, the Rocks Bank. Just kidding, just kidding. It's just called the People's Bank of 1905 is when it was built. Okay, so I made my way over here to the depot, the Gordon Depot, established in 1885, and I want to talk to you a little bit about Gordon and how it reflects much of the broader history of rural central Georgia, including the hardships of the Great Depression, segregation during the Jim Crow era, and population changes as younger residents moved to larger cities for work. Today, the town remains a small but historic community with deep roots in Georgia's railroad heritage. And this is what the inside of the car looks like. Don't know how much I want to walk in there. I don't know if this door is supposed to be open or not, but it smells kind of funny. But right there is a sink, and right there is a toilet, and there is a lot of peeling paint on the roof of this thing. And depending on how old that paint is, might not be the best idea to be walking in there. So now let's look at some demographics of the town. 46.95% is white, 51.97% is black, 0.15% is American Indian, and 0.92% is mixed race. The income index looks like this. Income per capita is $31,869. Median household income is $53,478. So when we scroll down a little bit further, look at the poverty level. Poverty here in Gordon is 24.9. And that is definitely quite a bit higher than the Georgia 17.8 or the national at 15.1. So let's look at crime. Gordon's total crime rate, so only 0.96 of people will actually experience a crime here in Gordon out of 1,000. That is really, really good stats. And well below the Georgia 2.0 and the national at 2.1. And right here next to the train depot is a State Farm insurance building. And on the side they have a mural here that states Penn Chevrolet on it. Genuine Chevrolet. And I couldn't help but to notice it has these words right here, like a rock. And if I do remember, maybe you guys can help me remember a little bit better, but back in the 90s, didn't they have a commercial? I think it was Chevy, and it was a song, a little jingle, a tune. It was like a rock, and it kept showing the truck do all this awesome stuff. Maybe I'm just tired and hot. It's pretty steamy out here after all that rain we endured earlier. Rained here too, as you can see. There's a lot of puddles out here, but it is sweltering. All right, so we got some pretty banged up, wrecked up cars here close by. I mean, that thing is smashed. But look at this old Chevy Nomad right here. And it's got a tree just growing through the engine bay. But this right here is a little piece of my youth come to life. Not really. This car's dead. There ain't nothing happening here. But this was my first sports car that I just worked my butt off until I saved up enough money to get. And this here's it. This is an IROC Z Camaro. Loved my car, loved it to death. The only thing that I did not enjoy about it was the T-tops. As cool as they were, when it rained a lot, the rain used to leak in like right in here. And I used to take Vaseline and like coat it on the rubber, you know, to try to seal it off, and it worked a little bit, but not for too long. You might get a half a rainstorm out of it before it would start dribbling again, so it really didn't work all that much. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, man, this is a blast from the past. I have not seen an IROC since I sold mine. Yeah, I actually sold mine and ended up buying a 1996 Mustang Cobra. Mystic paint, 4.6 liter double overhead cam engine. Yeah, those were good times back then. Man, that was some good times. Having those cars, cruising. It wasn't nothing like going to the mall back in the day and doing a little cruising. Hanging out with friends, meeting new people. Whew. Boy, you're really dating yourself when you start talking like that, right? People don't know what that's like though. How much fun that was back in the day. That was awesome to sit there and get to meet new people. People would come from other towns and cruise, and you'd be in your hot rod, and you're all cleaned up, shined up, looking good. It's good times. Boy, I tell you one thing, the sun is beaming. Put my sunglasses up earlier because it was just pouring down rain. But now the sun has come back out and it's super hot now, and I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up now. Had a great day today. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It might be kind of short, but I did want to get out and film some of these locations while I was here in the area. I don't find myself in this region very often, but today was just a special time where things lined up and I was able to come over here in this area and do a little video and check out the Honey Boo Boo house, see if it was still kicking. I'm glad they found something to do with it that the town can use for good use, and because it is kind of a cool little place, a filming location for a popular TV show, even if it was only on like 2 seasons. But really great day. Got to check out the pig monument. I got a kick out of that. That's something I've been wanting to do for a while. And check out the town of Gordon and Toomsboro. Toomsboro was fantastic. Love that place. That place was awesome. The rain tried to ruin our fun, but I made the best of it. I got all I could get while I was in Toomsboro. Really cool day. All that being said, friends, I'm the Hitchhiking Yeti, and I will see you on my next adventure. So long from Gordon, Georgia. Glad to have you here. It's a great day. I will see you in my next adventure, my friends. Y'all stay safe, and I hope to see you all again soon.